Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Surprise Lethal podcast. Rejoining me today, we've got Lee.
Yo.
Richard.
Hello.
And Nick.
Howdy.
All right. So this past weekend, we've had a Chimera European League, and we're going to jump right into that. So Lee, do you want to tell everyone how your day went?
My day went pretty well. I managed to break my drought of not getting any first places, going back to an old favourite set of mine with Idolmaster, and managed to get the first place.
So when was the last time you actually won a tournament?
It was episode 2 Chimera in 2018.
So yeah, pretty long drought ended right there.
Yeah.
That must feel good.
It does feel good, and especially to do with Idolmaster as well. Yeah, one of my all-time favourite franchises in WUS.
A quick rundown for the rest of the tournament. There were 19 players. Matt Mead got second, which really helped his position in the ladder. Both me and Ewan missed top cut, which meant things got really shaken up near the top. Brian finished in 4th place.
Yep.
So that's pretty much set him above the rest at the moment. But yeah, there's still one more tournament this month that should hopefully change things again. Hopefully for me.
Why is Brian on like a complete mad one this year? By the way,
I don't know, man.
It's partially because he's not tilting off the face of the planet as much as he used to. There's still glimpses of him hitting 45 degrees, but for the most part,
it's pretty hard to tilt when you're playing a deck as consistent as Rabbits, I guess.
Although he hasn't actually played Rabbits for a couple, as he's gone back to Fate again now.
Yeah.
Especially with the Heaven's Feel stuff, it looks like.
Seems to be working out for him past 2 tournaments at least.
Yeah.
That's second place and 4th place in his last 2 tournaments with it, so it's pretty good. Richard was there.
I was. I came 8th, playing Kimono Friends again. I played Brian twice in a row, last round of Swiss and in top 8.
Oof.
They were not fun games. No, I love that deck completely. Like, I love the combo. It's really fun, even when you lose against it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I like how it works. It's really interesting.
It was really funny, in particular, watching your top 8 game, which you realize was basically a repeat of the LCQ game you had in top 8 Prime last year.
Yeah.
Even up to like the swing for 6, which this time for Brian cancelled.
Yeah, which was pretty sad, but oh well. I can't be mad.
I didn't even realise it was that much of a repeat of that tournament.
It was really similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think since you get to run more green cards and stock swap becomes more of an option, that would have been his win condition. But I don't think he even managed to use the stock swap in that game, right?
No, he whiffed it. He had like a 50. No, it wasn't a 50-50, was it? It was.
I think it was like a 50-50 if he hadn't blind stocked it, right?
Yeah. That would be it. Yeah.
Yeah, like to draw in a couple of cards from his deck, and then he didn't draw it. I thought, oh well, paid 1 stock, and it was the stock swap event. So
yeah.
But yeah. A trusty Kimono Friends for you, right?
Yeah, I really enjoy the deck. Like, I know people hate me playing it or hate playing against it.
I do.
But I really find the deck fun. But sadly, by the seams of it, it's going back to Luke in like a month. So sad times.
Yeah. Have you used the deck that is actually your own this year so far?
That's a good question. I can't remember. Let me just quickly look.
I mean, if you're losing Kimono Friends, look on the right side. At least now you can play Idolmaster again, right? Now you've got all those cards.
Yeah, true. But I've got to see if I actually enjoyed the new build or not. That's the problem.
I mean, I enjoyed playing this build, so I could see you enjoying it as well. Idolmaster Brothers and all that.
Do you want to share a little bit about your build, Lee?
So it's using the classic I want combo with the level 1 Harika. That's whenever your opponent rests a character, she gets 1,500 power. Combos with an original stock soul, so it has to be top card of deck into stock. Everyone gets a soul. On attack, pay 1, salvage, rest all your opponent's standing characters. And then to follow that up, you just have standby. So the interesting thing about standby and Idolmaster is you do run the combo with it, with the back row Harika, which bounces back to hand. You get to look at top 2, add 1, and then discard a card after. That's more of like a backup. The main reason the standby is there is just to put like big things in, basically, to be a backup to the 1-0 Harika. There's only, in the entirety of original Idolmaster, there's only one playable level 2 card, and it's an uncommon that is a 2/2 9,500 power with character Encore. And if you play it from hand, it might as well not be a card because its downside is awful. It starts eating stock. You don't want that. And then for the top end, it's basically you have an early play, 4 or more music characters on play, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's music character, burn 1. And then you combine that with the Mickey, which is on attack, reveal top. If it's music, burn equal to the level. And almost plays a bit similar to how Love Live Sunshine did before the ban. You get your Mickey out. Yep, get your Mickey out, check the top card of your deck every turn, and just keep burning. You don't really have like a true finish. You just hit level 2 and just get extra instances of damage all the time. It's great. I love it.
The inclusion of standby, alongside already having something like I want,
Yeah,
it really makes the board difficult to break for any deck, pretty much.
it does. And combined with the Mickey Brainstorm, when you play a climax, reveal top if it's music, give out a soul. It's just you have a lot of extra damage coming through throughout the course of the game. Like one of my favorite things about Saturday was, so I played against Matt Mead's Goblin Slayer twice, lost to him in Swiss, and then beat him in the final. So in both games, he hit level 2, played 2 Priestess, got the -2 soul across the board. Comes back to my turn, and I stuck a level's worth of damage in both games, just because of the extra soul and the extra burns.
What I also like as well is one of my problems generally with like hard playing blank standbys is like you lose a lot of damage economy, but the brainstorm really helps with that.
Yeah,
it's giving out more free soul.
It's great.
I also really like the use of the 2/1. I can't remember the character now, but the one that swaps positions, right? Yeah.
I only actually used her in one game on Saturday, in round 1, but it did a lot of work. So I had a rough start and ended up attacking with one of my back row, but then triggered a standby, put that onto the back row, and then just swapped it with the card I'd attacked with that I wanted on the back in the first place.
On topic of Matt Mead, this is his second tournament, I think, using the Priestess build for Goblin Slayer. But overall, using Goblin Slayer, this is actually his second place.
Yeah, it's just basically repeating what I've been doing over the last year, just falling over before the final hurdle.
Still consistent enough results to really set him high up the ladder at the moment, though.
It's really pushed him up from like lower down the top 10 up to where he is now, hasn't it?
As it stands, if I've done my maths correctly, he should be in second place now.
Yeah.
So it's really become even tighter of a race suddenly. Yeah.
I think with you and missing top 8, it's just kind of like closed the gap a little bit for now, at least. This weekend pending.
Yeah. It's a testament to how good Goblin Slayer is as well. Of the 19 players, 3 players using Goblin Slayer, and all of them top cut. It's definitely the deck to watch at the moment, I think. We
had 2 Priestess builds, and then James is playing Standby Dwarf.
A variation on the Dwarf combo that I prefer to 8-shot, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a bit more versatile. Yeah. What else? Fantasia Bunker came out.
Yeah. I don't know what other people think, but I haven't seen or looked too much into that set.
No, I haven't really. I only played against it, and I'm not going to lie, the person I played against just exhausted his resources at level 0 and didn't play anything for the rest of the game, pretty much.
There were 2 players for Fantasia Bunker in this tournament, and both of them, I think they had 2 wins between them all day, so that's not really a good first impression.
God.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, my impression, like from looking at the cards, is it seems kind of average. I don't know about you guys.
I think the Kurumi level is it Kurumi? The level 3 is interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm not sure it really does anything special outside of that.
Yeah. There's a few like niche gimmicky cards here and there, but I don't think anything really outstanding.
Nothing to really push the deck to what it needs.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything really else to talk about for Chimera, unless you guys have any other stories, any memorable games at all.
My game against Gemma in Swiss. I got to make sure I get this one in there.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, of course I remember that.
So I go up to 3-4 and pass the turn, and I'm something like 7 climaxes in like somewhere between 14 and 16 cards, and I'm like, I'm safe, yeah, no problem. She's playing Steins Gate, plays 2 Kurusus, plays the gate for the combo. I'm like, yeah, I should survive this, no problem. First attack, burns 2 and it sticks, takes him up to 3-6. I'm like, uh-oh, cancel off the top. Second attack comes in, burn 2, cancel off the top. Attack, cancel off the top. Final attack comes in, she triggers a shot. Cancel the attack off the top, and I'm kind of like, I guess that's it. Nah, cancel that off the top as well. Just 5 climaxes, one after the other. And slight pop off and bit of rage on the other side of the table.
A bit of rage that probably the entire room.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard it from the opposite end.
I don't think I've never seen anything like that before, though. I've never had 5 next to each other like
that. A couple of weeks ago, when I was watching Brian against Peter in top 8 of War Games.
Yeah.
Brian also had 5 climaxes next to each other.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It didn't like directly affect the game. It was just like what seemed like a really good stock swap that turned out to like trap only 1 climax, and then like in like 7 cards left in deck, there were 5 in a row.
It's crazy.
It's quite ridiculous. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess I should point out that I played Poyo.
Yeah, I really liked that build. That was spicy.
I pretty much bought it just to target Goblin Slayer, and I didn't. The only Goblin Slayer I hit was James's, which wasn't as affected, but popping standby targets still like gave me a lot of advantage. I still lost though. But yeah. Yeah, I really don't think there's anything else to talk about this Chimera.
No, I don't think I have anything else for Chimera.
Going back to the question of how many times I've played Idolmaster this season, I've played it 3 apparently. We don't talk about those though. Let's move away from. I don't know. Actually, one of them I came 6th, which wasn't too bad. But the other 2, let's just ignore they existed.
Fair.
We'll call them replaceable scores, shall we?
Oh, definitely. Actually, apparently they're not good enough to even be on the board.
Oh, great. Big yikes. So this coming weekend will be, I think, the last episode for the last episode 6 tournament that most of us will be able to go to. Which I guess is pretty crucial, since after that we start replacing our scores if we've been to every episode so far. But yeah, do you guys? I mean, I figure Lee's going, but not Richard or Nick.
No, sadly I can't.
It's a bit awkward for me to actually make tournaments at the moment with my schedules, but
yeah, I could tell from all 3 of your tournaments you've been to or something.
From the fact I've not been to one since like February.
Yeah.
That's a last chancer this year, I think, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, as far as this weekend goes, I know me and Ewan would be desperate to try and fix our scores. But yeah, it's become a lot more interesting since we normally have more than one tournament to do so. Usually it's like I'll have like one really good score at one tournament, then Brian will at another, and then Ewan will at another. But this time it's going to be me or Ewan getting this good score, if any of us.
It certainly makes things more interesting now we've lost that third event.
Mm.
It kind of increases the importance of each individual event.
Pretty much. Hopefully it won't affect us negatively for trying to get that European spot, though.
It's all about that European spot, right?
Yeah, that's honestly my biggest concern. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do well. Ewan's gonna need to do well. I imagine you're pretty much just coming to gatekeep, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm also gonna get a bit of English practice in while I'm at it as well. Gonna bring out Persona.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if I'm gonna use an English deck or if I'm gonna try something else. But with Springfest being so soon, it probably would make sense to use an English deck again. But yeah,
I suppose the other interesting thing to consider as well is actually replacing scores, because isn't it going to be quite hard for the people who are currently at the top of the ladder to actually replace scores?
Yeah, it makes sense that it's harder for those than those below them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it always becomes really interesting at this stage.
If we look at your scores, for example, you've got 3 first places and 2 fifths. So I suppose you do have 2 scores which are actually quite easily replaceable, assuming that you get the good score this weekend.
Yeah.
Because this season, I've noticed that first places are really important. Like, at least for us, if you don't have more than 1 first place, you're probably not at the top of the ladder. Brian apparently is the exception.
I guess just because of the sheer amount of second places and the fact that his tops have been at really big tournaments as well, right?
His top score is actually a second place this season.
Yeah.
When we had that 25-man tournament.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, do you know if James Sutherland's going to turn up?
I'm not sure. I imagine he'll probably give it a miss unless Josh is going down. Because
yeah,
I think he's quite happy just to sit within top 16. I think.
Fair enough. He's saying the other day about like trying to overtake me, so maybe he was getting a bit confident.
Getting a bit of competitive drive.
That's pretty good though. I like it. Yeah, so I guess if you consider the top 7 being the ones in with the biggest chance of getting those 2 top spots, I mean Gemma's gonna also want to try and improve on Chimera, even though she did get 3rd place.
She can't actually make it next weekend. This weekend, sorry. So she's going to miss Milton Keynes. So that's a 1 score for this episode.
Pretty good score, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about Springfest next, since it's kind of jointly related with it being so close. Like, since Matt's got a good score as well, one that I'm pretty sure he won't really try that hard to improve. I think he'll be quite comfortable with it. I figure he's going to do his Springfest practice as well. You're doing your Springfest practice.
I'm not actually going to Springfest. I'm just playing it for practice for later in the year.
I figure it was a maybe at the moment, right? Depending.
I don't have a team right now, so.
I know. What is it, Richard? You're on a team with Luke, right?
Yeah, but we might have Brian. He's very
have Brian.
So I literally asked him. He's basically blanking Luke, and I asked him on Saturday, and he said that it's a maybe, and he would know by basically the end of this week. So it's a bit up in the air at the moment.
Yeah, I know you and Luke were like sort of on a toss up with like who you should have as your 3rd member, right?
Well, it was either, I think at first it was either him or JT, but I don't know what's going on with James Thompson either. So
yeah, who knows what's going to happen there. Yeah, this is actually the last podcast before Cardiff, so at the next episode we'll have hopefully a lot to talk about.
Can't wait to just be like, we all scrubbed out the end.
Yeah. I actually went and compiled what the meta game has been like for the top tables at Springfest around the world. And there's been actually 20% Bang Dream. So definitely the most popular series in English at the moment. It's not very interactive at all. It's just got really good card quality. It's not really much you can say about that, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And there's been that mix of Sunshine decks, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's been the Sunshine, about half and half Chica and Ruby. All the other sets you'd expect around the top. Card Captor Sakura has been actually having a really good showing. Which is something I'm quite happy about.
I wasn't really that impressed by Card Captors. It seems pretty good, but I didn't think it'd be good enough to have that good a showing.
I guess part of it's because maybe because of the gimmick of an English exclusive set. But I actually think the deck's really good.
What's the go-to that people are running then? Is it the Shrink or something else that I don't care about?
From the list that were doing well at Springfest, it seems like it's about 50% of them being the Siege combo, the Shrink one. And then the other 50% being Reflect combos.
Okay. Those are the more interesting ones, so...
Yeah, usually with the TD combo, the Win Shimikaze going into it. Yeah, the change is really good. The early plays are quite good. It's just pretty good card quality. It's got a Margi.
Yeah. I don't think the usage statistics are that surprising, although I don't think it'll be quite the same for ours in a couple of weeks.
We don't really have that huge a player base, do we? At least when it comes to trios. If last year's anything to go off,
pretty much.
I mean, I feel like it's almost guaranteed we're just not going to get anywhere near as much Bang Dream and Sunshine, just because there's never been that many players in the UK that actually play those sets.
Yeah,
that's true.
Meanwhile, Catherine and Emily, I think, are both going to be representing Card Captor Sakura, so that should bump those stats a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. The statistics are interesting, but it feels like it's just not going to look like that at all for us.
Yeah.
I would have thought Persona might have had a bit more representation than that, but I guess there is still a pretty big chunk of AOT, and in my opinion, that was why playing Persona was a bit sketchy before.
Yeah. I mean, the P5 build I played at Worlds was directly anti-AOT.
Yeah.
So that was kind of frustrating for me. But yeah, it kind of sets a bit of a flaw where you just go, I have big walls. You're not much doing that much with it, I guess. Joker's just good. Just sucks that it loses the gears, right?
Yeah. That's what Ryuji's for, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, hopefully we have good news to bring back from Cardiff. Worst case, we'll have stories at least.
I hope there's some stories. If I don't end up going.
If there are any stories as exciting as last year.
Bingo card.
Yeah, you put stuff on Sam misjudges something.
Somebody has a confrontation with the judge.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why I wanted to play 42 level 0 no game no life, just so that someone called a judge on me for no reason. It'd have been entertaining.
Judge, he just put half his deck in his stock. That can't be right. I can't wait for the judge confrontation to involve Sam as well.
Judge Sam versus Judge anyone else.
I can see it now. Just like, oh, so what we'll do is we'll just take it back. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That was a pretty good Sam impression.
Yeah.
Well, you hear it enough times and gets in your head, doesn't it? So
Yeah, we're kind of like running through this podcast itinerary really quickly, I guess.
Mm.
It's not been the most eventful past couple of weeks, but I think pretty much the last thing to talk about would be the Love Life card reveals, if you guys have seen them.
Are these the ones that I saw in the chat earlier?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like done by subunits.
yeah. So we had one leak for each character from Muse and Aqua.
There's 2 for canon because one of them was like related to it. But
I see. Okay.
but generally speaking, yeah, they did one of each character.
Yeah, and
the
they
most
decided
part.
to group them by the subunits, which is quite cool. In particular, I really like the Guilty Kiss cards for Sunshine.
Yeah,
I
I'd agree
didn't
with that.
actually look at the Sunshine ones.
So
Sunshine makes you want to vomit, so you'll have to tell me what they do.
all right. So if I explain every single card, this could take a while, but it's fine, right?
Yeah.
So start with the Mirai ticket cards. So there's a 0-0 Rico. It's quite comparable to, the Yun Yun, the resonance with the Mega Man.
Yep.
It's pretty much that, but slightly reworded. So rather than pay 1, clock 1, search Mega Man on play, it's got on play, discard a climax to salvage a specific 3/2 Yoshiko.
Okay.
And then the other effect's pretty much the same, but it only grabs Rico, Yoshiko, or Mari, which is of course the subunit.
Yep.
The 3/2 Yoshiko is draw 2, drop 1 on play. On attack with wind in play, pay 2, discard 2, and then for every 2 characters you have whose name includes the Guilty Kiss names, repeat the following effect: burn 1, and this gains 4k.
So, is it possible to get more than one of those off? I suppose it is, isn't it? Because it just counts. It counts the entire board, right?
Yeah.
The
idea is you're just doing burn 1 twice and getting like 8k power. So
yeah, it's quite funny that it just gets 8k. That's like
that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's like it can almost take down Reinhardt levels.
I mean, it will actually get bigger than a Reinhardt though, right? Because you've got the 1k1, you've probably got the assist in the back row that's giving another 1500, and if you've used resonance that turn, you give out another 2k.
Yeah, the 2/1 Mari that goes with it isn't as impressive, but it's quite cool as well. It's like
just nice value, I think, really.
Yeah, it's like a level assist. When you resonate, you give a character plus 2k per turn. And when the same wind as the Yoshiko is placed, you get to clean stock 1 from waiting room. So it's effectively
I like that card.
You like
that's
playing
good.
at the same time as your combo, and you've effectively got a free level assist. It's quite cool. So,
I mean, you're probably going to already have that in play when you get the level 3 anyway, aren't you? So
yeah,
it just helps you get that extra stock for more combo.
I think it incentivizes playing multiple of the climax. Well, like let's say you end up with 2 or 3 of the climax go like just before you hit 3, you just go, well, I'll play one of them and I'll ditch the other extra copies, but I'll play like one of them and get some free stock.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice.
If you get the full Yoshiko condition and you have this level assist out, I think the Yoshiko gets to like 22.5.
It's a little bit
quite funny.
Yeah.
Kind of overkill, but
I was gonna say in almost every game it's just like completely unnecessary amounts of power. But if you find that one madman running Reinhardt, you're like, yo, this little idle girl over here, she better smack up your Reinhardt.
Yeah. Until they play like a counter.
I mean, if you're 22.5, that's a trade with a 2/5 counter.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Yeah, I think that this is these are the reveals I like the most from the Sunshine ones.
Yeah,
personally at least.
I really like the canon, but that's just because I really like shrinks.
Yeah, should we go on to the canon next then?
Sure. Like
Yeah,
the rest
go on
are kind of irrelevant.
So the what is the name of this subunit again?
Azalea.
Azalea, that's it. Yeah, the Azalea cards, it seems to be experience based. There's a 2/1 cannon. It's a anti-change bomb deck bomb, and it combos with a pants. This is when Climax is placed. You basically change this into a 3/2 cannon from waiting room.
Okay.
No, it's from your hand. Is the
from hand, my bad.
So you still get the on-play effects.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is the reason I like it.
Yeah. So this cannon, it's on play from hand top 3, and on attack with pans in play. If you have another music character, until the end of opponent's next turn, this gets at start of attack phase. Choose opponent's character, give it -2 soul.
A shrink.
And it has a experience 5. This gets +X equal to the level across times 500, which is, I think, kind of negligible, but you know.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Like against level 3s, this is going to get reversed when it's 11k by itself.
Yeah.
There's a Hanamaru that's like a heal to stock. An experience 5 gains 15, and opponent can't play backup or event from hand in this card's battle. Is okay. It's a heal to stock.
I could see that maybe being like a card in just a good stuff deck if you want. As far as like good healers go, like this is reasonable.
Yeah, and then there's a Dire, which is another Dire Brainstorm. It's like a pay 1 rest off Brainstorm that salvages specific Azalea cards, so Dire, Hanamaru, or Cannon. And has experience 2. This gains SS 500.
That's good on a Brainstorm.
Yeah, it's pretty good on a Brainstorm. Yeah, like the outstanding thing about that is you get to run this sick 2/1 into 3/2 change thing without it being too cloggy, because the 2/1's going to be useful regardless.
Yeah, like having multiple bottom deck slayers in your deck for any change. Not as good as it used to be, but still pretty good. Like there's still.
I suppose the only rough part about this is you need a pretty full hand going into level 2 if you want to do multiples.
Yeah, the ideal scenario for this is like you've got 7 hand and it's all this like very specific, right? So you've got your climax 3 of the level 2 and 3 of the level 3.
Well, the good thing is the cannon top 3 is on play, so.
Yeah, the good thing is it doesn't hemorrhage hand.
Yeah, like cantrips, and maybe you can even dig for another missing copy. It's just
kind of.
I never even thought about that.
You can't do it the same turn though, because it's the climax combo. So if you top 3
you could.
Yeah.
You send the first one to the waiting room, play one, top 3, grab another one, then send the second 2/1, and then you've got one in hand.
Yeah, but then it's like super dodgy. Then you're like, I'm just gonna roll the dice some more.
It could already be pretty dodgy. Imagine you got this hand full of your 2/1s and level 3s, and then you cancel 3 times at level 1. And you're like, now what?
Yeah, that's valid.
I think the big problem with cards like this now is they just pale in comparison to Goblet Slayer.
Yeah, pretty much. Just because of the whole global neg war.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at this is I played Armored Titan at a tournament. And this is just a better Armored Titan. That's always how I look at these kind of cards now.
And moving on to the Ciaran cards, if I pronounced that correctly.
Something like that.
It's pretty much standby city for these cards.
So dumb.
So 3/2 Yo combo. It's 500 for every other, heals in play, and on attack, if you have standby in play, a specific standby, you pay 1, discard 1, reveal the top 9 cards from your deck, deal X damage equal to the standby icons you revealed.
Don't forget shuffle your deck as well.
Yeah,
that is strange.
Yep.
Especially when you think you've already got one of the standbys in play. That just doesn't sound good at all. Unless you're playing 8 standby, I guess.
It's pretty tragic
it
as well. If you have like a really low deck.
Oh wait, there is a second standby being spoiled.
Yeah. So they threw in a second standby combo as well on a level 1. It's pretty much just an on reverse blind stock top check out of level 1 or higher, like the Union. But it's on a standby.
And the character's only 5/5 and Union's a 6k.
Yeah.
That's pretty...
Yeah. I would have much preferred it if this was like a when climax plays pay 1 stand another character sort of thing.
Yeah. Anything that doesn't rely on reversing as a 5/5.
And then there's like a 3T review, which is just like an on-play search. And if you trigger a standby, give something K, and it's an assist 2K in front. So it's on a 3-2, so it's like a standby target pretty much.
Having a 2K in front's always good for a standby target.
Pretty much.
And then like the on-play is just if you need the extra power, you can play it on level 3 and you don't neg your hand by doing so. Yeah. Which is okay.
It's quite funny that they're like trying their best to promote 8 standby deck here.
Yeah.
I think if they really want to promote it this much, they might eventually give a series like something broken to involve us running 8 standbys, and then that'll be the new hate deck. Sort of like how things have gone with like minus soul combos and Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely thin ice that they're treading on, where they're like trying to push standby to some degree, and it's going to go wrong eventually.
The thing is, like, I already think standby is pretty ridiculous as a card anyway. I mean, if a set facilitates it properly, it's pretty nutty as a card.
Yeah.
Especially like when, say, you're attacking into something that you know is going to get reversed, and then you attack with something else. Oh, look, there's a standby. Cool. That dead thing's now something bigger than it was before. Great.
Pretty much.
Or the best ones is, say you attack with a level 3, and then your opponent counters it, and then the next attack you trigger a standby and just replace it with the exact same card that just got countered. Like, nice counter, bro.
I will say that I appreciate Sunshine is now going to be like a series with 3 different standbys in it, 3 different standby combos, and like I don't really think that it's worth running. Like there are cards in there that you can kind of put in a standby deck, but from what I remember, most of the like kind of beefy cards that you just want to standby in this kind of subunit. Not that I don't think they've really pushed like the subunit mattering yet, but if they do, then this is just going to be kind of useless, I feel.
I know that around the beginning of the year, before Sunshine got hit at the bans, a lot of Japanese players were running like 2 to 4 blank standbys.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense though, because you could standby in like the Rico at level 1 as the back row. You could standby in like Mirai Ticket Yos and just get more free value.
Pretty much.
Then they just went and like completely ruined that idea, so now you can't do that. So I don't really see the payoff for using standby now.
What do you think, Richard?
Well, I'm not a huge fan. Well, I don't know. 8 standby seems a bit grim.
Pretty much.
I don't like standby as something that you'll run 8 of, unless, like, as you say, they'll make like some broken deck around it. It just doesn't feel like you're pushing enough to do it, like with the climax plays. Like, it's great you get like the value over time, but it just feels like a dead turn when you play a standby most of the time. I don't know. That's my thought on standby anyway.
I can totally see 8 standby becoming a problem where they like print a good level 3. Like even something like this would be okay. Not like doesn't have to be like a broken level 3 combo, but then just like some level 0 or something that does that casual value of bouncing to hand, but then instead of like fixing your hand, just goes bounce to hand and then give your board a soul or something. So you're just basically doing the usual thing of like playing a climax, getting some damage bonus, but then like you're facilitating your weird ass level 3 combo.
I mean, there's already zeros out there where on standby play, bounce to hand, give out a soul.
Yeah, they just need to make it like give everything a soul, and then
we're just
be very scared.
we're just one power creep level away from completely breaking it.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
maybe next year.
I'm pretty sure if there's ever like a really top tier 8 standby deck, it'll be because of the cards around the standby.
Yeah,
Nothing to do with like bringing in really good 2/2s or whatever.
The one thing I do really like about standby is it changes the way you look at a set. Cards that are complete garbage in every other deck are just like this could be played in standby.
this is very accurate.
Or like in the case of Idolmaster, for example, if a really old set suddenly gets a new standby, you get to go back and look through all the old cards and see what's now okay.
See what big 2/2s there are.
Yeah. I'm going to point out I did this and I found out something really interesting. I'm sure I've mentioned it to Lee at some point, but I think they were thinking of standby trigger really early on, because some of the early cards actually specify when placed from hand or waiting room to stage. And I thought it was like because some sets like it was before the change was like a keyword, but nope, in the same set it has change as a keyword. So for some reason there was just these cards that have effects when they're played from a waiting room.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, and it's like, why the fuck is this? Sorry, why is this printed? that was my like natural reaction to it. And I was just like, why were these printed like back then if it wasn't for this reason?
I mean,
I'm going to point out the effects are completely useless if you do standby them in, but still.
Like, if I've learned anything at this point, it's to not like assume Bushiroad play by any kind of logical means. Sometimes they do stuff and they just like you still don't really know why. You just got to roll with it, man.
That's true.
I've just about enough time to talk about the Muse reveals now that we've gone through the Aquas ones.
Yep.
Yeah, there have been a lot of live cards over the past week or so. So starting off with the BB cards, there's there's a Mackie 3/2. Gains 2k during your turn, heals on play, and when a book is played, if this is in front row and you have 4 or more other Mackie, Nico, or Ellie cards, choose one of your other characters and it gains on reverse, discard 1, burn 3. So that's a reasonable top end to promote you using the mono subunit deck. Then there's an Ellie clean cut. It's only a 2k, but it has accelerate, gain a level on 2k, which is a bit dicey.
Yeah, that is a bit dicey.
It's probably better than a lot of what Love Live has at the moment anyway, though, so that's fine.
Especially when the cards that you pair with it, the accelerated effect that you get off it isn't that great, which I assume you're just going to go into.
Yeah. So yeah, they've also given Nico a rest self search brainstorm. It also has the effect when you use accelerate, draw 1, drop 1, which leads to thinking this subunit's going to be accelerate focused, and history says accelerate focused decks don't do well.
I mean,
don't know what you're on about. 19 stock in 1 turn. Come on.
Like when I think about the few accelerate cards that are actually playable, so you got whatever Rich is talking about. The 2 that come to my mind is the actual one in Excel World, the blanket boost that gives a card pay 1 on reverse search, and then there's the one in Madoka, which you pair up with the pseudo standby combo, which I think is on reverse, pay 1 salvage. So those are actually like pretty good effects. I mean, sure, this one doesn't cost you a stock and it's just a bit of filter, but when you consider your accelerate is get a level and 2000 power, draw 1, drop 1 to go with it, doesn't really feel that great. I guess you just need to see what else other accelerator cards they get.
I guess the other accelerator that comes to mind is the Lisbeth and SAO. Or the Japanese players like running like 8 gate or 4 gate 4 standby instead of Yuki. It's like gain on reverse salvage and like a 6k beer.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the cards that pair with the actual accelerate cards, because obviously in Excel World you've got you don't really run a level 1 combo, you run the accelerate to get a 1000 power and on reverse top 4. So I guess it depends like what level 1 gets revealed. I assume it'll get a level 1 with Accelerate.
Yeah, it entirely depends on what kind of cards they bring out, but I don't really care. They've gone, oh, by the way, here's a level 0 Nico Brainstorm, let's rest this. So I'm basically satisfied already. I don't really need anything else. Well, that might be a bit of an exaggeration. I do kind of need some good cards, but
another really not aesthetic thing is the fact that this clean cut as an Ellie means there's now like multiple level 0 primary cards that are Ellie.
yeah.
I think you're gonna say something, right, Rich?
Yeah, I was going to say for reference on what the Accelerate card I was on about is.
Oh yeah.
So it's a 0/0 Isner from No Game No Life that is Accelerate. It gains 2k power and a soul for the turn. And its other effect is whenever you use an Accelerate ability, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 0, you can place it on the top or the bottom of your deck. Top or bottom of your stock. Climax's class is level 0. So the entire premise is you have 4 of them on the field and just shove 16 cards into your stock for taking 4 damage.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
okay.
a pretty cool deck. The fact that you get to choose like the Climax is on top of your stock and the non-Climax is on bottom of your stock as well.
Yeah, so you can slowly like filter them out by paying 3 for encores and stuff. It's a fun deck, but it's terrible.
Very dumb. Like,
I just like the idea of take 4 damage, put a third of your deck in your stock.
yeah.
So it's moving on to the other cards. There's the Lily White cards for Muse. Most notable for me is the Rin level 0, which is like when it's reverse a battle, pay 1, clock 1, send its memory, search for music character. Which is the closest thing to a Ricky we have. The next one being
I like that card.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
I mean that Rin's a good card.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
right.
the Rin's a good card, but it's kind of sad when you phrase it as this is the closest thing we have to a Ricky.
Yeah, I suppose there's that.
Then we got 3/2 Umi. It's a 2k in front assist, heals on play, and when you play the Pants Climax, if you have 3 or more cards in memory, pay 1, burn 1. So memory focus stack. That's an okay card, I guess.
I just hope there's more than just that Rin to put into memory.
Yeah. Then there's 3/2 Nozomi. It's draw 2, drop 1 and play. If you have 3 or more cards in memory, this gains 15 assault and character encore. And combo with the Pants at the end of this card's attack, pay 2 and then put the bottom 4 cards in its deck in the waiting room. If there's a climax among them, restand. So
I don't like this card.
I think it's kind of cool, like getting rid of the last few cards of the opponent's deck. If you know there's a climax in there, getting an extra attack.
But like if you pay 2 and whiff, it just feels so bad.
It isn't what Love Live needed, but
it's kind of janky in an interesting way though. Like a pseudo Icy Tail cross with Restand, where you also are a 3-soul beater, is neat.
If we're going on this route, you could say they took Icy Tail America and split it across 2 cards.
Okay, yeah, that's fair too.
Didn't they basically print this in Overlord, but not on a climax combo?
I honestly don't know.
I swear there's a card like it. I think it might be on reverse.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm gonna find out now.
Turns out they printed the exact same card without a climax combo, and it's just
it requires you to reverse something. I know that much. So that's probably like the downside, but I'm pretty sure it's basically irrelevant.
What is it? A restand?
Yeah. When the battle of the opponent is reversed. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. During the turn, this is start. Oh right. So yeah, this ability activates up to once per turn. During the turn this card is placed from hand to the stage. At the end of this card's attack, you may pay cost. If so, your opponent puts 3 cards from the bottom of their library into the waiting room. If there's no climax, stand this. The only cost is rest one of your standing characters.
Which card is that?
It's a Momon from in blue.
Ah, yes.
This so strange.
Yeah, it's. I mean, in this case, you want it to whiff, though.
Yeah, but I think that's just actively a better card.
I suppose, seeing as the cost is only to rest a stand character, I suppose the risk is worth it in that case, rather than having a climax combo and paying 2.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it just seems like in general that is a much better card.
It's like they took the idea from Overlord and then tried to make it better, but kind of
Made
didn't.
It worse.
Yeah.
So I guess moving on to the last set of cards. It's been a bit of a grind, but we made it. Printops cards kind of, it's got the same experience gimmick that the Azalea cards do in Sunshine, which is kind of disappointing for me. But yeah, so 3C Honoka, heals on play, experience 5, this gains 2/5. On an 8/5, so that makes it 11k. And a combo with a door, and when it's placed, this get until the end of the opponent's next turn, this gets following effect. When this card's battle point becomes reversed, you get to burn 1. Which is cool, the wording of that, because it means when you reverse them during your turn and when they crash into it.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's Teal and Kotori, which is really similar to the Mari as well, where it combos in the same climax and puts a card in stock, as well as being a level assist. But it also has experience 3. This gets rest this, choose a character till the end of the opponent's next turn, it gets 1k. So yeah, pretty much the idea is just let's make really big Honokas that they have to crash into, so I deal more damage.
Make one at least a 13/5.
I suppose
seems reasonable.
I suppose the question here is, what do you spend that stock on in this deck?
Yeah.
Seeing as the Honoka is just on reverse and there's no cost.
Pay for you to call your Honoka when it gets killed.
Yeah, but then you'd lose the effect. That's pointless.
Well, yeah.
I suppose you mean unless to go again for a second time.
Yeah, like if they do get over your Honoka, you go, whoops, better do this combo again next turn.
I guess you'd be pretty close to dead if you manage to do that and also draw a climax again.
Probably.
And the other
you
card,
never know. There might be something that's worth like paying out, like in the set that gets revealed.
The other card is a Hanayo Brainstorm. It's a rest self search brainstorm and has experience 3. When the character's battle point gets reversed, then you get to give out 500 power until end of turn, which I think is like strictly worse than the Rin Brainstorm that already exists, because it's got the same. It's blue. It's a search brainstorm, and it's just got a different effect. The Rin's like on act give out 500,
which is way more reliable than reversing something. Yeah.
I guess the interesting thing with these cards is like there's actually no name restriction from what I can tell. So this would be like the most globally used cards, I guess.
I will say, like, something that applies to like all of them is depending on how hard they lean on the subunits mattering in like other cards that end up being revealed. Some of them are going to suffer purely because of that, because like 4 of the 6 groups have like just 2 colors because of the way all the members are set up in colors, where you've got like all the first years are one color, all the second years are another, and so on. But then like I think it's Lily White for Muse and Guilty Kiss for Aqua. Both of those are like forced tricolor if it ends up mattering. I mean, we know already that it will actually matter for Guilty Kiss given the resonance and stuff. So hopefully that's not an issue. I mean, like, I guess Sunshine was already 3 colors usually anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But
I guess the last big note about the used cards, at least for me, is of these cards, 5 of them are double R's out of the 9 total we'll probably have.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yikes.
Yeah. So
They really haven't hidden anything, have they? It's just, there you go, here's your double rares.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So I have mixed feelings about this because none of this is like that impressive except for the clean cut, and that's me being like really easily impressed by that clean cut. But you know, in theory, rarity shouldn't matter. We could still get some really good rares that improve the deck. But yeah, it's not looking good so far. If you look based on recent history, all the good cards are double bars.
It kind of feels like with the Muse set, they've just looked at it and gone, well, we can print something relatively mediocre and it's still a big upgrade, or some like you can get away with like just upgrading a bunch of cards without going to like new set level at the moment, where they need to print something like good for people to actually kind of hook onto it.
It's like a funny thing I had heard from a Vanguard related post where they get some super average Aquaforce cards revealed, and all the Aquaforce fans get super excited, even though they're not that good, just because they're used to really terrible card quality.
So it's what, like, give the cards just enough power to make everyone go, whoa!
Oh, this card goes in my deck. Yeah, that Love Life grind is now over. We've talked about all 18 of the characters.
So many characters.
I know. Yeah, I don't think there's actually been like any other big reveals. There's been like more JoJo TD cards. They've not been that impressive.
Well, man, didn't you see that 2 soul?
The 2 soul
Climax of the day.
Yeah, using an entire card of the day on a climax. It's quite good.
Yeah, but if you're a JoJo fan, I bet you got hype at that.
Yo, 2 soul.
Yo, a 2 soul you can't play outside of Japan. Oof.
It's so limited. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we still didn't even have a release date for JoJo as well, like the booster.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to these Love Live reveals anyway. Like,
yeah, me too.
I mean, last time I was like excited, I guess, was probably the extra booster for Sunshine, where they revealed the Ruby and God knows what else. But you know,
you're not excited at all for Volume 2?
No, Volume 2 just kind of happened, to be honest. It just kind of came out, and then I was like, well, still Mirai Ticket Yo, I guess. So, but now, like, I guess it's because after they like butchered the deck recently, I'm at least hopeful they're gonna put other cards in that replace it to a passable degree.
Yeah,
maybe
the ban list was like probably up there for gimping a deck the most.
Do you remember when they did that for Nisekoi? Gave them a set that was totally playable.
Okay, yeah, no, fair. Like, I've just been a bit like, it's been a bit weird since the ban list, to be honest. Made for a weird Christmas.
You've ruined Christmas, Boucheron. How dare you?
Well, it's like I woke up and they're like, "Merry Christmas. Here's that deck that you spent like however much money on going down the drain."
Well, to all the Chaos TCG fans, Merry Christmas. Your game is now dead.
It could be worse. I could have been Ben. You know, buy up cards and then they immediately get banned like 2 hours later.
Have you guys heard about this?
No, I don't think I heard that one.
So when he went to Japan in December for Comic-Con, he bought Christmas Casamies from a shop in the promo. And then like a couple hours later, the ban list got revealed. And then, like, wouldn't let him return them. Yeah, that was pretty dark.
That definitely made it mixed feelings because, like, you know, that was really funny to see on one hand, but you know,
I feel like you've always got to be careful with Bang Dream.
Yeah,
because they're gonna keep printing cards for it, and they're gonna keep banning it.
I mean, it's just like the equivalent of like standard in Magic, right?
I guess
they're like forcing a rotation on this set by just printing new good cards and then banning old ones.
They were like, we had fun doing this with Kantai. Let's do it with our own franchise this time.
At least all the hate will be internal, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, I guess there's not really much else to talk about. Unless you guys have any extras to add on.
No, not
Can't
really.
think of anything.
No, we've got nothing for now.
I think this has been a pretty quick episode. It's been largely taken up by talking about loads of different Love Life cards. But, you know.
I mean, it's been a pretty Idol episode full stop. I mean, we
Yeah,
started with Idol
yeah, pretty
Master and
much.
ended with Love Life.
That's definitely going to have something to do with the episode title, I think. Big crossover concert thing. Who knows? Speaking of concerts, Muse are having a reunion next year. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I think my 765 says are too old for that now.
Feels bad. Yeah, here I thought that new Love Live cards weren't going to get printed. I was never going to see Muse again, and then they throw out a new booster and another.
And you're still not going to see Muse again. But you
Still
know,
not going to see Muse again. Yes. I saw the extra incentive for me to go to Worlds since the date falls around January. So
I might just use the adult privilege of having a job to go.
I have that privilege too.
Oh, that's true.
I just am unwilling to pay.
See,
problem.
I've spent plenty of money on stupid things at this point, so there's basically no kind of barrier anymore. It's just like, go across the world, see an idol group, sure. Done it once, I'll do it again.
Go back to Asia to be a third wheel.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
But you did.
Not a second time.
Not a second time, though. Yep, that's about it. See you guys in a couple of weeks where we will be talking about Springfest and some more tournaments.